welcome to another episode of
Mum
and Son. I'm Jay, I'm the son.
I'm Alicia, and I'm the mum.
Beautiful day. Sun's out hitting us. It
It's
feels
good,
so
good for
lovely.
the lighting.
It feels so nice.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. And you know what? It's amazing to keep creating even when the season's changing and everything.
Yeah.
We
In the winter, it's been tough.
Yeah, sure. Like the winter's
Because
been tough.
we had such grainy video because we had to do
because
all the
lighting
indoor lighting.
changes and
Yeah,
time gets different, but. Appreciate you for all sticking by and still watching us, and really do like appreciate it. Today's episode,
sunshine.
The sunshine. The sunshine is,
day.
and also you're wearing yellow, so it has that
nice
spring summer vibe as well.
Oh, great!
Today's episode is gonna be about something which I think. It ends up being a very important skill in life in every way.
Yeah.
And if we drum roll it in, it's
discipline.
Discipline.
And we're going to talk a lot about, disciplining disappointment, disciplining life, we're going to try and cover as much as we can.
And I think what we'll do is that stigma that's with that word, some people go, oh, discipline, it sounds too rigid or too serious or sounds like...
I think we're going to break it down.
Yeah, we're going to break it down in a way where I actually go, I see now...
You need to value it.
I see the value in it.
Yeah.
And even though the word brings those feelings, it's really this.
Yeah.
And it's actually a more benefit, it's beneficial.
Yeah.
So let's dissect it.
Yeah.
So
let's
surgical.
Dissect it. do a Mum and Son surgical take on it.
Yeah.
So where do we start with it? Let me ask you a question then. How much value, first of all, have you acquired any disciplines, and how much value do you feel you can place on it? And if people are watching or listening and they're thinking, listen, I have no disciplines, what's the best way to start? And, how do you keep it going? How do you see it through?
Do you know what? I find this to be linked in with two previous videos that we did. One on having a routine.
Yeah.
And the other one on commitment, was it?
Yeah.
And
definitely those two words sound like, they kind of or preempt the importance of what we're now going to talk about.
That's exactly it. And like most of it is, they always kind of link. But those two definitely.
If you haven't watched them, go back and watch them as well. And then come back
to like build up on whatever we mentioned here. Definitely. And I recognize that I'm someone who, because I had to do some self-reflection, this and that. Once I built up a routine of the type of things that I needed to do and focus on in myself, I then understood that I needed to be committed to it. But what I understood, the most important thing from doing those things is not just the goals or the things that I had set out to attain, but it was the skill that I built of discipline in it. And the reason discipline is so important is because I once said this: if you achieve a certain goal or something like that, because we can look at it as in, I need the discipline to reach a goal. But here's the thing, even once when you reach it, or if you reach it and it changes, or even if your mind changes and you're in a different part of your life and you no longer want it, the one thing that will stay with you is the discipline that you've built on yourself during that time. And with that, even if you achieve one goal, you have the discipline to go on and achieve a other one, because that part of it only comes through practice, application. It can't come through faking it or paying for it or anything like that. It genuinely comes from practice, and it absolutely does. But the skill is so vital, because once you get that skill set, or however you can apply it to any part of your life, and it will advance you forward. So that's, for me, how I've used it, and the potential and the greatness or the power that I see in it.
it's interesting you've used the word power, because I was just about to say that discipline, in whichever form you choose to use it in your life, whether it's, disciplining yourself to do something on a daily basis or disciplining yourself to not do something, either way, there's power in the practice of discipline. There is real power into it, because that is, it's a power that, I don't know, it just makes you special.
Yeah.
For example, somebody will say, oh, they can't stop smoking or something like that, but then you have the discipline and you quit. Yeah. That is a very empowering for you as a person, to have the discipline to do something or not to do something. Both angles, doing it or not to do it, puts you as an individual in a very powerful place. It is an inner strength that no one else can take away from you or create within you. Yeah. It has to be from within. You know what I mean? Like, everyone can say, oh, you should give up, or you should do that, But until you acquire the discipline, even like, say, working out even.
That's a big one.
You say, right, I'm going to do this, every day, or, 3 times a week or whatever. And you start to acquire the discipline within you, and you start making it a good habit and building on it. That, listen, if I had the discipline to do that, I'll have the discipline to wake up at a certain hour, or I'll have the discipline to run my business in a certain way, or I'll have a discipline to give of myself in a certain way, or whatever it is, across board, or to do something, across board, it empowers you. That's what I really feel it does, Jay.
Definitely
I really feel it's a very powerful tool.
No, it is.
That if you apply it, you can create that application across board in anything you want. In fact, knowing how to discipline anything, for or against, you may sound funny, but you kind of transcend other people.
No, it's true.
In that empowering aspect to your nature.
It's very true.
And if you are undisciplined, it is time to start creating certain little disciplines. And as we spoke in other episodes of other things, you can just try. It doesn't have to be huge. It can be a small discipline. Every day I'll do this, or every week I'll do this. But you do it, and you praise yourself for that discipline. Yeah. And then you know what? If I could discipline myself to do this, you know what? I can discipline myself to do that. And it makes for an all better round person. What do you reckon?
It's true. No, it's absolutely true. And what I'll say as well is that when I think of discipline, because some people go, oh, it sounds so strict and serious, but the truth is that in some senses, it's just like, this is my standard. This is my standard on myself. True, and then in other times, if you're disciplined in a certain area or this and that, it might just be like, this is my kind of guidelines, or this is the guideline that I follow. Yeah. Type of thing. Like, so there's discipline through action, and there's discipline through, well, I'm being disciplined within this structure of my life. So say if someone, they wake up and they work out, they're disciplined in their action towards working out, but they may have a routine or something that they follow a certain process, and that in a sense is their kind of guide. So see discipline not as in that thing of, oh, I need to be tamed and I need to be disciplined
and restrict my life
and restrict myself. Actually, it gives you more freedom and power, just as you said. So when you see empowering. It more in a different way of not, oh, I need to be disciplined because I've been bad, or I'm doing something bad, so therefore I need to be disciplined. The way I see it is, when you do it, it builds up good habits, and that's all you're doing. That's
great, good habits. That's another one we can talk about. Yeah. But you know what? When you were just talking there, and I was talking about discipline, I've realised that discipline leads you onto success in any form that you wish to attain success. Do you know what I mean? I mean, this can be business, this can be relationship, this can be, you know, anything across board, career, whatever, family, whatever. But the reason I'm mentioning it now, because you know I love sports.
No,
and
it's always,
you know, I was just thinking about even like boxing.
Yes.
The discipline of the art that is required to become, say, a top level, you know, title holder, you know, top level champion. The discipline required to achieve that. You can see how by disciplining, say, like a boxer or even a sports person, disciplining themselves in a way leads them to succeed, leads them to becoming the best that they want to be. Not everyone can do it, and not everyone has the same discipline. We're all varied people, and
I think, like, just adding to what you said there, and I'm gonna touch on, because some people, when they hear the word, they feel it's too serious. But what I'm saying is that's because you're seeing it as saying, I need to sacrifice
that's
something.
Do
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you think about it, when I think about discipline, and I hope at the end of this video that you can consider seeing it like this, is you're looking at what you're looking to gain.
That's why I said,
not what you're sacrificing.
That's
what you're looking to actually gain.
That's a lovely way to
It's kind of almost like breaking a shell off and evolving into something new. You're not sacrificing the shell. You're gaining something new by evolving and leaving that. So it's almost like, what are you gaining? That's what discipline brings. It brings something to gain.
That's true. To see it
sacrificing
from what are you gaining through this discipline? You know, this discipline is going to lead me to success. That's a lovely way to see your discipline evolving. You know, and as I said, start small. Make a tiny little discipline. Nothing that it's gonna be too hard. But by sticking to, as we've talked about before, whether it's a routine or sticking to that particular discipline, you go forward and not backward.
Exactly. And what I'd say is that is totally right. And if you're one of those people that go, oh, but I don't know, first I need to get the discipline, and then I will. What I'd say for that, and what we talked about in those episodes I mentioned earlier, was after you have a routine, just start small, stay committed, which we talked about in the other episode, and then you'll find the discipline will be a byproduct of that. Of doing that. Because some people feel, oh, but I need to feel disciplined first, and then I can then do it, but I don't feel that way, or because we all make excuses to some extent. Like some people will listen to what you said and go, that's it. But for those who go like, but I don't know how to you know, reflect, build a routine, stay committed, start small, and then you will find, as you said,
it will become a byproduct. It will become a byproduct
of it, and that skill and that discipline that you build up, it will take you far.
And I like the way that you said, you know, that you should see it as, you know, as you said, gaining something.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I like that, because we will be thinking, oh, but you know, if I discipline myself and I stay committed, you know, I'm kind of really restricting myself. I'm not going to grow or blossom because I've got all this discipline and I've got all this, you know,
rigidness.
It become too rigid. My life,
restriction. To some extent, because it feels so.
But
serious.
you know, here, you know, there, as we discussed in the previous episode, you know, you have to have a bit of flexibility, but at the same time accommodate those important disciplines that will support you, that will, you know, progress you as a person, that will, you know, create the situation where you see yourself as, I'm moving forward now. If I hadn't put into place just these few little disciplines, I would have slid backward. Do you know what I mean?
It's true.
I'm not, you know, by all means, we talk about action helping to move us forward, but discipline can also do the same if you perceive it in a positive light as well. You know, your discipline, as I said, about moving on to success, and you said also about, you know, it's shifting you, you know, you're gaining.
That's exactly
You're not losing, you're gaining.
Yeah, that's exactly, like, there's no sacrifice, there's no thing.
Exactly.
Because that's what we think.
It's an enhancement.
It's exactly that. And what I'd add, coming back to the analogy with, like, let's say a boxer, this and that, is you find that even when a boxer had the discipline and might have won something or went on to achieve something, even when that discipline went, they lost it all, they hit rock bottom and everything.
I know.
But once they brought it back in,
that reminds me of someone.
Yeah, they then went on to
excel beyond
excel.
Everyone's expectations.
Once again, gain.
Yeah, gaining.
Reach a new level.
Yeah.
And that's why I think you might have mentioned it earlier, but even successful people, they've always got a form of discipline.
There's something
in what they
that
do.
they are disciplined.
As I said, don't see it as that rigidness.
No,
and that.
See it as
because
gaining.
Like, based on your personality, it might be different. Some people might be more army-based type of way of seeing things, and some people will be disciplined, but you'll be more chilled about it, and you'll have your own flow.
Yeah,
but there will always be that trait there,
Correct.
that trait of discipline there, whenever you see someone doing well or doing
and like we said earlier, the beauty of having some type of discipline in a routine or something like that, the beauty is carrying it on to make it work for you in other areas of your life. You know, once you've got that key element down of empowering yourself enough to do, even if it's a small discipline, you know what I mean, then the discipline creative part of you can be used again to create another type of discipline to work in your favor even more.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt about it, Jay. It will lead to success in some shape or form. Now, obviously everyone's different. Everyone's got their different life, their lifestyle, you know, but it could mean, you know, if you use your discipline to quit something negative, you can use it again to, you know, do something else with that power. Massively. And likewise, if you use it to gain, you can use it again to gain, you know, say like you have a discipline to do something health-wise.
Yeah.
It's that same empowering aspect to your nature that you built within that discipline that could allow you to apply it in your business, in your job, in your career, in your relationship, within your family or something. What I'm saying is discipline can morph itself into something else in other aspects of your life once you get into the habit or you have that ability to do a discipline. And a small discipline can lead to you doing a big discipline that will have an impact that will be, I don't know, long lasting and successful. That's
absolutely hit.
So it's becoming the dynamics of disciplining is just getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, I've never even viewed it in that way.
Because like, going back to what you said, that's the power of it. Yeah. Because I see it as, if you can build it, or like if you can build it up, you have like a solid foundation. That, because when I think about it, even people that have had success and different areas of life and they've lost it, they can still go on to create it again. Yeah. Because they have that resource of that discipline
to rebuild.
They have that mindset. Yeah. And everything. Yeah. Or it could, whether you say it as a mindset,
because they say, don't
like
they,
a skill or something, but they built it up to the point that they can use that to build it up again.
Yeah, they say, like, you know, like, I mean, they say there's people, you know, say people that have discipline their way, we could say, to creating huge wealth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of them have lost it overnight.
Yeah.
But they will still go on to, if they have nothing, if they were left with nothing, they could still go on to create to become a millionaire again.
But that's why I said earlier that when you write down your goals or you're doing them, you have a commitment or you have a routine.
Yeah.
The byproduct and the most important thing isn't just the goal itself, it's building discipline. So that even if you lost it all, or even if things changed, you can create it again, because no one can take that away from you, because as we said in the beginning, that comes from practice.
Yeah.
But what you build up is so powerful. It will last you in any area of your life.
Correct.
To build success and to achieve it.
Yeah. That is, because I would say, I don't know about you, but even when we chose it as a subject today, I just thought, there's probably not that much we can talk about it, but the more we're talking about it, the more I'm realizing how powerful understanding, discipline is really, really crucial.
Yeah, it is.
Because you realize that it is part of the other things that we've talked about, but it's like a missing key.
Yeah,
if you
because when we talked about previous episodes, I thought, and I think I mentioned it, and we said we'd actually do.
Yeah, we jotted it down.
Episode on it, and when I thought about it, I thought, like, you know what? Having a routine and this and that is all good, and then it was like, but the discipline you build within it,
as you said, it's a byproduct. Yeah,
it's so powerful. Because even if you achieve that, you could say, well, I've done now I can chill. Yeah. But you may find, because one thing about life, and as we've seen, is even when you attain something, sometimes it's one thing to get it, but then it's one thing to keep it. So discipline allows you to not just get something, it allows you to keep it. It allows you to actually get more. And once again, it allows you to gain.
Yeah, I agree that, because, like, there's some people that go for a goal and aim for something, and then once it's attained, it's like it falls by the wayside.
Yeah.
But when you really have mastered discipline in whichever way or whichever area, no matter how big or how small, when you attain your goal or your success, as you just mentioned, it gives you the power to keep it.
Yeah.
It gives you the power of longevity. It gives you the power of maintaining whatever it is.
Sustaining.
And sustaining whatever it is, whatever disciplines you acquired along the way to keep you there and, really fulfill it for a long time. Yeah. Because it's like, even with, say, like, I'm just going to use this as an example, but, it doesn't really, you can apply this or consider it across board. But, it's like those people that become famous overnight.
Yeah.
And they rise to great heights. Say, for example, it was what we would classify as overnight success, or they have a hit with a I don't know, a song or a whatever, and we could say it was an overnight success.
Yeah.
And then a year or two later, they've dropped out of and vanished out of everybody's, what happened to them? Type of thing. And sometimes the thing that has happened is, along the journey, they didn't have time to acquire the disciplines that are needed to sustain you.
Yeah.
Once you reach those high heights.
It's very true.
Because it happened so fast, there was no time to acquire certain disciplines. Yeah. So when they reach those heights, it can be squandered. Even things like people winning, it can be squandered overnight.
Oh, gosh,
it can be lost. Just like that, because there have been no disciplines that helped you I would say, even as we talked about stepping stones, but in a way similar, the stepping stones of little bits of discipline to sustain you. And then you find other people that slowly get to a level, I mean, I could give an example, say someone like Morgan Freeman, who, plodded away at his craft and, had the good fortune to blossom when, was he, 52, something like that?
Yeah, like he was middle-aged.
Middle-aged, yeah.
Sure.
And look at him now, sustained success.
Yeah. And
because whatever disciplines that took him on that path for that length of time, you can see
have sustained him.
After, that he's absolutely phenomenal now. You know what I mean?
No, it's true.
So you can see the power of discipline as a craft, as a way of working your way to success.
Yeah.
To, as we talked about, longevity, maintaining and keeping you there.
That's exactly it. And just as you said, see it as a discipline, as a craft. See it like that.
Embrace it.
Yeah, because that's what I want as well. People to think is not think, discipline sounds so serious, it sounds so rigid. Like, see it like that, as a craft, as a
empowering thing,
as an empowering,
as gaining,
thing, as something to gain rather than I'm sacrificing.
Yeah,
you have to see it like that, because that is what it is. Sometimes we go, discipline is too serious, and I'm trying to just enjoy life and have fun. Why is it? Why am I making it so like serious? And if you're someone who, as we said, you might start from a place of like, let me just be committed to smaller things.
Yeah.
And then as long as you genuinely do, you'll find that, wow, like I'm really keeping this up. And then you find, wow, that's like, I'm really disciplined now.
Yeah.
In this.
Yeah.
So even that sometimes can be a way of still being disciplined, but just
in your own way.
Other route if you prefer to approach it from that angle. And some people might say, hey, yeah, I know I need more discipline, so let me get on it. But some people might say, I still don't, just be committed to small things. Genuinely do. Watch that episode because we talk about it more. Yeah. And then you'll find that a byproduct of that will be building that discipline. Yeah. To keep taking you further to do more things.
Yes.
And so on.
Yeah. I really like that, I mean, because I love movies as well. So when I talk about things, sports, movies, you can look at others and see how they have succeeded, and sustained themselves. And I think that's even more powerful, as individuals, to kind of see yourself not just succeeding, but keeping yourself there for a long period of time.
That's exactly it.
And it's like, even for example, like these trading.
Yeah.
It requires disciplines to get you to the point where you can confidently trade.
That's exactly
it. And then, once you just start doing well, say like in something like a craft, like trading. Yeah. How do you sustain it? You don't want to go up and then crash
because there's
and burn.
Inconsistency that happens. Yeah.
Even looking at how discipline can be applied to a particular craft, job or role, or trade.
Yeah, exactly.
Is also a powerful thing.
Because even a disciplined trader, when they're trading, they're not looking at, but I'm missing out on making money here because da-da-da-da-da. They're not looking at what they could be losing or sacrifice. I just missed out. They're looking at, I'm disciplined enough that I'm waiting for, things to match my sort of, my kind of discipline so that I can gain big.
Yeah,
that's what they're looking for.
And keep it ongoing.
And by being disciplined, I can keep it ongoing. Yeah. By discipline, I increase my chances of having success.
True.
And things like that. So you're definitely right. In terms of that too, it's the same thing. And that's how it's like a universal truth, as in
across
a life truth that across the board of life, many
whatever you're doing, areas,
it plays its part in the most positive way.
And
powerful way.
Even talk about discipline, because there may be people watching or listening, where the word discipline has negative, connotations to it, like, oh, my parents, really disciplined me and, made my life miserable.
And that held me back.
And that held, exactly. Yeah. So the word discipline, we've looked at it from a powerful, empowering point of view, but, just came to me that,
I mean, yes, self-discipline, I guess.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. And or somebody can be a disciplinarian and discipline their kids, or discipline, so there's also that aspect to the word. What do you feel, just before we wrap up, what do you feel if, this word discipline, because we've been talking about it from a self-discipline viewpoint. Yeah. But what about people that say, I hate discipline because, for example, when I was growing up, I was really harshly disciplined in, what I could and I couldn't do, and, the discipline my, family gave me, or my father or my mother or whatever installed in me, that was tough. What do you say to that kind of discipline?
I mean, say to it in a sense of
how to turn it around.
Okay, so how to, I think is what we talked about earlier. Like, that's a discipline, as you said, that someone's enforced on you,
and that's different.
So that that kind of happens, but this discipline is almost like a
we've talked about,
like a self-discipline. And as I said, it's not to, like, the one from someone externally doing it to limit you or tell you this is all you can do, or you aren't tamed enough, so blah 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 blah. This is for you to reflect on yourself, to know that maybe there's something I want to do, I want to achieve, blah 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 blah. As we said, it could be money, relationships, it could be health as well, especially with
health,
like something like health in this as well. And all it is saying, okay, I know that I need to just have a bit of discipline here in order to gain what it is that I truly want from this area of my life. So rather, whereas the other one is limiting you and saying you can't do this or that, this one's saying actually you can do this.
Yeah.
And by using me or having that discipline, we're gonna get it. So it's actually, you're not having, it's funny because in a sense there could be a structure, but it doesn't mean that you're limited.
True.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's a bit of a paradox, but you have a structure.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have a routine and you're going to be committed. So you think, but isn't that limiting me? But no, it's actually allowing you to achieve and do more.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one with the external people saying, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. And hey, different people with different reasons.
I think with external discipline on you, what I would say to people is, because some people say, I'm glad that discipline was enforced when I was younger, or something like that.
True.
Because it's made me the person I am today. Something like that. Sometimes people say that. Yeah. But I would say with any kind of external discipline on you, the best way to deal with it, I would say, is to take the best of what it gave you in the context of how it's perceived in your life. And if it was a positive thing, you can use to build on it. If it was a negative thing, you let it go and don't carry it with you. You know what I mean? If somebody instilled a type of discipline, sometimes you'll say they were disciplined, like you even say, let's say football. A manager is going to instill a certain discipline.
Yeah.
Some people may not like it, but they can look back later on and say, you know what, working with that manager gave me the discipline to now do that. So some external disciplines, you can take the best out of it. And if it was negative, you don't be afraid to let it go. Don't feel you have to live by that discipline of another person. You are free to make your own choices and decisions and apply discipline in your own way to bring you back to balance.
Yeah, course.
And, you know, allow you to kind of feel back in control of, you know, a situation.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes people discipline out of love. Sometimes parents create disciplines out of love.
Of course.
You know, they don't, it may have a negative thing, but they didn't think it at the time. They felt they were doing the best for you, you know.
No, it's true.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
So there are those other aspects to discipline. But I guess what we've spoken about today relates very strongly to self-discipline. And, you know, owning it. And external discipline, you can turn that around to create or take the best of it and use what you feel will benefit you.
Yeah.
You know, even if it was a discipline someone else instilled.
Yeah, I've always seen, I mean, we won't, I guess, like, go on about it long because I guess this has been more about self-discipline. But if you're talking about external discipline and how I sort of view it, I just see it as sometimes it's life lessons. You know, if make sure that you have you have the responsibility of doing, and sometimes it's responsibility as well, and it's maturity. Yeah, everything is different, but for the ones that I've had in my life and this and that, it's almost like, okay, what's the lesson that I'm learning here? Yeah, what's the thing that I'm learning about myself? And then for some people, they feel about a different way. Like, you have nothing to prove to anyone else, but if you genuinely think, actually, by maybe following this, it's going to benefit me, then let me be a better person for it.
And take the best and then take of what it gives you.
As you said, and if it doesn't serve you or it doesn't,
you let it go.
Then you just kind of let it go.
Yeah. And you know, just create your own disciplines that we spoke about.
Yeah, like the self-discipline. That's the thing.
Yeah. So all in all, I say having disciplines is a good thing in some way. Yeah,
and I think, do you know what, talking about it more towards the end of the episode, I say in regards to the context of what we were talking about with discipline, I think what we're really saying is having self-discipline
is key.
Is the key.
Is the key to success.
For yourself, you're trying to do. Yeah.
You know, and I just thought I'd throw in that kind of little curveball at the end, just in case other people were saying, hang on a minute, what about da-da-da? So there we go. Well, I really, really hope you enjoyed that episode. I've never delved into discipline as much as we did today. And I never even saw it in that deep light of things, you know. So I really got a lot of value in this episode.
That's the thing, we're always learning.
It happens. Okay, well, thanks so much for watching. Please do leave your comments for us. Leave your feedback. Let us know how you've applied some of the things we've been talking about. Are they working for you? Did something we say add value to your situation or your circumstance? And if it did, let us know. And we'll be happy to, you know, give our viewpoints and share whatever it is. If you have any questions, let us know. And we'll respond to them, won't we, Jay?
Exactly. So if you like this episode, like it. Obviously, share it with someone that might need it. And if you want to know about more episodes coming up, then subscribe to the channel. And you can hit the notification bell as well. And also, don't forget to check us out on Spotify. Link will be down below in the description. So you can also listen to us as well.
Great. Well, that looks like it's done.
All right. So, MumNSon, we are done. Until the next one. Take it easy, everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye.